This Indian seems to float in the air. It's a feat which, for skeptics, simply defies belief.
Okay, so levitation, mind over matter. Is that possible? All right, so what do we have? Most of you guys will say no. What's your argument for those of you guys to say no? You got a simple enough argument. What's your argument? Your argument is gravity, right? How do you overcome gravity? Mind over matter. Is that even possible? Believe it or not, most of you guys don't believe that's possible. Okay, so just put stuff. Okay, so can you do levitation, mind over matter? No illusions, magic tricks, technology. Literally, mind over matter. Can you overcome gravity? Most of you guys will say no, but some of you guys will say yes. There are people who believe in that sort of stuff. They do believe in it very, very strongly, as it so happens. And Tom Cruise is one of them, so we can just ignore him. My dad is another. He happens to be a medical doctor, but he believes in it very strongly. There are people I know, my friends, they think that anything is possible. And there are even physicists who believe that this might be possible. Mind over matter. Not resorting to any sort of magic trick or technology or whatnot. First time I saw levitating yogi, it was on a magazine cover. And I must have been 6 or 7. So I said, Dad, is this for real? And he looks at me and he was really offended that I even questioned it. I mean, he yelled at me. He said, of course it is real. Of course it is real. He said, these yogis have been doing it for hundreds of years. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. And it didn't make sense that you could just levitate like that. So I said, Dad, how's that possible? How do you overcome gravity? My dad is a medical doctor, so he also likes physics, and for whatever reason, he thinks he's good at it too. So he said, okay, let me explain it to you. All right? I still remember his explanation. I didn't laugh at the time, but I think I can laugh right now. So he said, gravity pulls you down, right? I said, yeah. So gravity gives you a weight. So what you need to do is you need to generate an upward force, overcome gravity. All right, so this is your upward force. All right, and he said, let's call this the holy force. Okay, so when the holy force, this force, balances your weight, then that's when you get to levitate. I said, okay, Dad, so how do you generate this holy force, this spiritual uplift? That's what he was saying. He said, you gotta meditate, and you have to fast, meditate, yoga, and you need to be a good person. As soon as he said you need to be a good person, I knew it was going to be out of reach. And so that's it. Now, if you're wondering what kind of religion that my dad belongs to, my dad is a Muslim. My mom is a Christian, so that makes me a Jew. So out of this confusion, next thing you know, we're just doing Eastern meditation and yoga and all that stuff. The odd part of levitation is, regardless of what your religion is, in every single religion, there are anecdotal evidence of people who are saintly or saint-like being able to levitate. I mean, even if you go to the New Testament, guys, Jesus walking on water is a case of it. That's what it means. In every single religion, you will find evidence or anecdotal evidence of saint or saintly people being able to levitate. So is this stuff real? Is it even doable? Can you levitate in every manner? Closest thing I've seen is this thing. Let me check to see if I need to get it from the internet. America's Got Talent. Oh, this is my Facebook lit up because of this little thing.
I think I'll be able to. I know, right? This is crazy. I am Special Ed. What I do is quite phenomenal, but I'm concerned that the initial preparation that I must do will be possibly disturbing to the judges and audience. I have to align my chakras and get into a very meditative state. This environment is going to be quite difficult. Those X's are very loud, and I hope it doesn't destroy my concentration.
Hello. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm all right.
All right. What is your name?
My name is Special Head.
I personally have never taken a sedative, but I imagine if I would take a sedative and look in the mirror, I would see Special Head. Go ahead.
Okay.
Special Head. Special Head. Somebody want to get that? Messing up his G, Howard. How are you supposed to meditate if you're hitting buzzer? I want Howard to go first because I think Howard had a premature excitation.
I did. I was annoyed with you. I wanted to lock you in a mental institution. And then lo and behold, you pulled off your special trick, special head. And I'm going to take my ex back because I actually like what you did. I've never done that before. First time.
This was amazing. And I'm sitting right here and I'm looking and I'm like, how is he doing this?
You know, I'm so glad I didn't hit my ex because I think what we all just witnessed was out of this world.
I just saw something I have never seen before, and I definitely want to see again. It's a yes from me.
It is a hands down definite yes from me.
I want to see you again, yes.
It is a yes for me. You have 4 yeses.
You're going to bed. Who can float in air, but he can barely walk.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I
I
even
like your
tried
cane.
it. Yeah, I was. It wasn't really working the same way.
How do you do that trick?
I mean, look, the whole room is yapping about it, how he did it.
Oh, we'll be back with more America's Got Talent. That's very freaking
All right, so Special Ed claims that there's no magic involved. It's not an illusion. He says it's mind over matter, and he did learn how to do this in Turkey, a country where I'm from. Is he lying? Could it be that you could do something like this? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Do me a favor. It's not. It's a rhetorical question. Just hold on. All right, let's set this up. At this one, we'll get back to it. All right, so when I was about 10 or 12, I was reading this comic book, Tintin. Tintin is huge in Europe. The comic genre is completely different in Europe. This is one of the biggest things. In the United States, you got Mickey Mouse or whatever. In Europe, you got Tintin. And this thing has been around for 50, 60, 70 years, guys. So the Tintin is a journalist. All right, so the artist who drew this is also the author. And he was just coming up with these stories, amazing stories that he had in his comic books. And he said that a lot of it was based on his real life experiences. So Tintin is in Tibet, and all of a sudden this monk comes along. Then the monk starts levitating. Right now, this guy claims to have real life experiences. So I was like, is that even possible? All right, so obviously this is a hidden camera show. I notice that people buy into it very easily. All right, this is all based on Jesus, miracles, and all that stuff. The levitation stuff, not so much for levitation. I mean, according to New Testament, he was walking on water, so it's along the same line. So this people who are saintly or saint-like or Jesus-like, regardless of your religion is, they're anecdotal evidence that something like this is possible. If that's the case, why don't we see these people like on the trains or something? A lot of people you know, your body has a tendency to move in a straight line at constant speed, right? You don't want to be floating around because the train keeps changing direction. So you need to be holding on to the handlebars. Is this real? It's just a magic trick. All right, we'll find out. All right, guys, at this point, you can kick in. I just wanted to give you guys some mind twisters. All right, so your biggest argument against levitation is gravity. How do you overcome gravity? That was the only argument I had against that when I was little, 6, 7 years old. I said, how's that even possible? And his answer is, oh, it's a spiritual uplift. This guy's able to generate some kind of a holy force. All right, so boom, that's it. Can you overcome gravity? Mind over matter. Now, most of you guys will say no. What do you know about gravity? Seriously. It's a bit of a mystery. So gravity gives you a weight. if you wanted to lose weight, you would reduce your mass diet. You can weigh yourself on the surface of the moon, so you will weigh 1/6 or whatever it is that you're weighing, on top of a very tall building like the Chicago's Sears Tower or Willis Tower. Okay, or if you're on an airplane 30,000 feet up, you will weigh about 2 pounds less. Imagine that. All right, so weight is something you get from gravity. But speaking of gravity, if gravity is the only force acting, what do we know? Everything's going to fall at the same rate, right? All right, so which means that the hammer and a feather drop from the same height will end up falling at the same rate. Here's a dumbass question for you. You know that the hammer and a feather will fall at the same rate when dropped from the same height, right? So they will reach the ground at the same time. Why? Why is that? Why is that an hammer and a feather, when dropped from the same height, will reach the ground at the same time? Is it because they both experience the same amount of gravitational pull? What do you guys think? Do you think that the hammer and a feather experience the same amount of gravitational pull? Yes or no? Let's put it in the chat. All right, I'm seeing yes, yes, yes. So you're saying that everything is falling at the same rate because they all experience the same amount of gravitational pull, right? So that makes sense to you. All right, just remember, guys, the amount of gravitational pull that you experience is the same as your own weight. Does everything weigh the same? No. So they don't experience the same amount of pull, yet everything falls at the same rate. How's that possible? All of a sudden, it becomes a mystery. All right, take a 10-minute break and be back within 10. All right. So everything is going to fall at the same rate, right? Is it because they all experience the same amount of gravitational pull? The answer to that question is no, because not everything weighs the same. The amount of gravitational pull that you experience becomes your weight. The amount of gravitational pull is the same as your weight. Hammer and a feather, they don't weigh the same, yet they fall at the same rate. How's that possible? How's that possible that they still fall at the same rate, given the fact that they don't weigh the same? Well, gravity is a mystery. This is one of those mysteries in physics that no one knew how to explain. No one knew how to explain this until Einstein came along, believe it or not. So gravity is kind of weird because gravity does not discriminate. Regardless of your mass, regardless of your size, regardless of your color, regardless of your horizontal motion, if gravity is the only force acting, everything falls at the same rate. All of a sudden, the question is why? Why is that everything falls at the same rate? All right, so everything is going to fall at a constant rate, which is roughly about 10 meters per second squared. And also, we know that the gravity extends all the way out to the moon. So if objects fall because of gravity, if gravity extends all the way out to the moon, why doesn't the moon also fall from the sky? All right, so we go back to Newton's original question. Why doesn't the moon fall from the sky?